Live.
Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, keenly awaited, highly anticipated edition of the afternoon swing trading floor with your humble host, Jeremy Alexander Newsom, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, mind you, love life, love trade. What's going on, folks? From around the world. We got ourselves, is today really Thursday? Can anyone verify that for me? I felt like yesterday was Wednesday, but I had no idea what today was. I think it's a Thursday. So you guys let me know if I'm off on that. Neil says, so it's now a time to short the market. What a day. Nope, not yet. Not yet. In fact, today was a really interesting day on the SPY because what you got here is a really, we closed right on that trigger. We did 282.28. We closed right on it. So I guess I'm going to have to say overall on the SPY, it looks like we're going to just slowly keep creeping up. We had the retest, we had the breakout, all the noobs bought it, and then we retested hard. Everyone panicked for 2 days. So if you're looking at playing the SPY short term, I mean, I would just look to buy some type of dip that looks like this. 282.05, something like that. We're already gapping up post market a little bit, but it's a nice little pattern, nice bullish engulfing pattern today. We're bouncing off of the 20 volume picked up today. So that's the daily chart, the weekly chart, looks nice. So the good news is, if you are wondering if we're going to really crash and tumble, you now have your line in the sand, which is closed below today's candle. We close below today's candle, especially if it happens anytime soon. Yeah, we're going to go down a little bit lower. But this morning, so that we're all in the same boat, I was certainly looking for I was definitely looking for a bearish move with this gap this morning. But here's the 5-minute chart. And on the 5-minute, I mean, I was watching it. I watched it for a bear move for about 11 minutes. Until those candles came in. So the first 5-minute candle, I'd have to argue, is relatively bullish. And then the second candle's like, all right, maybe. And then, obviously that next candle may get a higher high and a higher low and then just never turn back from there. And here's your S-curve on SPY. Boom, boom, boom. That was it. Nice little killer. Plus, we're already in a bullish trend anyway. And it really was a big payoff for Dwayne. So Dwayne said he had, 12.8 Rs trading the SPY, SPX today. So I was telling some other traders earlier this morning, if you do trade the SPY, the SPX futures, the days that you're going to have probably the best performance are often the days that you do get a gap above or below the previous day's high or low. And again, that doesn't mean that it has to go in that direction, but this candle, let me actually zoom in a little bit. I would argue pretty famously, in fact, that this candle today is almost identical to the same sentiment as this candle that was posted not too long ago, right? You got a small white candle followed by a little bit of a bearish candle with an upper and lower shadow. Then you had a white candle that gapped down into a bullish trend that immediately got bought up. So, we got to remember the trend is bullish. On all time frames. So yeah, we'll see on the SPY. I mean, if you're looking at playing it, let me zoom into the hourly chart and again get a really good crisp location for this limit buy. And I think right here makes sense. We might be able to pull back even a little bit farther than that. Because if we take out, this is again an hourly time frame. If we take out this wick right here, we'll probably go a little bit lower. So I would actually imagine this 281.17. So I don't know if we get down there tomorrow or whatnot, but if we do, we're looking at playing the SPY. We might go set up something like this, nice little tight risk reward, and just kind of play it accordingly. Something a little bit like this. So that is SPY. And then, of course, here's the Dow Jones. The Dow gapped down and immediately got bought up, so it was a little bit bearish this morning in the markets, but again, it just kind of got bought up immediately. The Qs, we all know who to thank for the Qs going higher. I have a wager with my buddy Neil Osborne. Neil said that the Qs will make a new all-time high before August 16th, which I took the over. He's taking the under. I'm not saying it can't make a new all-time high by then, and honestly, it probably does. I told him that I'm pretty sure, very confident the Qs do make a new all-time high. The question is just when. So, you know, me and him made a little bit of a friendly wager, and we'll see what's going on. But I do like the trend. I like the volume. I'm game with it continuing. And if it makes new all-time high before August 16th, I'll owe Neil a bunch of beers, and if not, he'll owe me a bunch of beers. But either way, it'll be happy and good because a lot of people have the Qs in their long-term account. And then here's IYT. IYT, which is the transportational ETF. There are some traders in on that setup as well. And if you're in on the IYT, and this is the transportational ETF, I would say it's at this point in time where you easily could increase that stop. All right, so now I just bring it up to here, and it would probably be something like this. You know, kind of worst case scenario. So that's IYT, and I think that's it. Oh, sorry, let me look at the IWM. IWM, you know, also posted some good moves today. So overall, everything else all equal, looks good. Questions, concerns, thoughts, or opposing views on the broader markets, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. FC says it was a good trading day. It was. Very good trading day. Very good. Obviously, we're going to look at Apple today, but I did make 0.33 Rs day trading. No big deal. Jealous. Only took one trade, though. So I'm 1-0 for the day, 4-0 for August. That win streak will come to a halt at some point. Let's go check out what we got going on. And I actually honestly forget the one trade that I did set up. I'll go look at it really quick. Was it FHM, FHC, FH something? You guys remember what that gap was? I didn't trade it, so it's not in my log. I can't really pull up my it was F something. Let me go see if Brad still has on his list. FMC. I was so close. So here was the gap down. This is one I did set up early this morning. Nice low right here. So you had that good support, all kinds of support. It was black candle gapping down. Here's your long-term moving averages. It was below the 100. I mean, dirty. It was like, yes, free money. And the first 5-minute candle, look at that. I mean, a bearish hammer? Absolutely. So I set that trade up, and you can all see how I set that one up. Entry here, stop there. And obviously I just canceled it 8 minutes later, and that was that. So no big deal on FMC. And then the other one that I traded, this was the official one, this is the one that everyone else traded, was US Steel towards the late afternoon trade. Late. So here's kind of the play that we did. I feel really good about this one because I played this like Charlie Daniels plays the fiddle. Had a stop limit. So the stop was 32.19, meaning that's when the order went live, which was right here. And 32.21 was the limit sell, which was like right about there. And I could have had a little bit of a higher move, but realistically, if I had tightened that stop up even more, that would have been a better trade. So if I had put the stop right there, I got out of this green arrow. Pretty good timing. That would have been about half an hour if I had lowered the stop. But I made 0.33 Rs on it, so it's not a bad deal. But anyway, that was it as far as day trades. Now, I will pull up US Steel because it is important to talk about, because I do have an iron condor on US Steel, and a lot of other people do as well. So we have the bear call spread. It's pretty much worthless, 42, 43. Not going to have to worry about that. But the bull put spread, Mr. Squiggles is saying, hey, I think we're going to trade down into that level. I did post in my original notes that I was going to allow US Steel to dip between the bull put spread before I unravel or exit, because there is the 100 on a weekly right there. So I'm going to give that a little bit of time, let it poke its head below there, kind of worst case scenario. Hope it bounces and see if we bounce off that support and then start moving and rocking and rolling. So that's really it on US Steel. I will be keeping you all updated on if I do need to unravel. But again, with condors and with spreads, I usually let the stock go into the spread at least once at some point. The point of the spread is just to leave it alone really until about the week of expiration, until you can tell that that stock is just really broken down. So since we have the bear call spread giving us a little bit of wiggle room, technically it could go down to 29.80. And if it expired down there, I'd still technically make money. But I wouldn't want to do that because I'd still get put to shares, which also not that big of a deal, but I don't want to get put as many shares as I have contracts on US Steel. Okay, so let's got that update. Here's Tyson, TSN. Tyson Foods. So Tyson's at the 200 on a weekly. And here is the daily charts. Earnings are right around the corner on Tyson. I thought those were earnings right here. Let me just see if I can verify that in what you call it. Thinkorswim. August 6th. Yep, they're right around the corner. No big deal. I'll move on. Alaska Airlines, ALK. JL says Tyson's knocking out the bulls. Nice. Nice. Alaska. So this one, I mean, it is Transportation Thursday, and this stock did do almost exactly what we thought it was going to do. Ginormous bullish candle, smacked its head against the 200 and is retraced down. So usually when you get those big candles, you get a retrace into about 50% of that candle. Here's the weekly chart. And again, Alaska is below all those moving averages. And here's the monthly chart. I don't really have any play on Alaska other than it looks like potentially a support, but I don't really have a super active, approach on Alaska Airlines. I don't really trade it that often. I mean, this is the 15-minute chart. So look at the hourly. I don't see a whole heck of a lot. I mean, if I was going bullish, it'd probably be tomorrow or the next day on a pullback like this and then have a stop somewhere around here. That's pretty much about it. Otherwise, no official trade on Alaska Airlines. Moving on. Micro Technology. So I also watched this one most of the day today because I was talking about it just yesterday. I didn't have a stop or anything. I talked about, hey, if it flushes lower, I'm going to watch it to kind of break down, and it just never really did. So Micron Technology, here's the first 5 minutes of the day. So again, this was a really good gap. I was watching this one as well. Look at that 5-minute candle. Talk about the easiest setup in the world for a bearish trade that just did not fill. I should have gone bullish, obviously, on Micron, but I did not. But the good news is I do have a bullish position on MU. So even though I did not take a bearish trade, I did not take a bullish day trade, I'm just sitting out here sitting pretty on MU with a $45 put sale that expires forever from now, which is September. And that about 20 cents has already slowly peeled off of that put sale. So get another 3-4 days of sideways movement. Probably half of it will already be gone. And the next week, just that'll be it. I do think Micron's going to go higher, Don. It's just going to take time. It's going to be a little bit of a slow growth. Yep, I agree with you. But it's going to do something like this, kind of something like this, chop around, boom, 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 something like that. That is my guess, but that's what I'm thinking. Frank says, yay! All right. So that's Micron. Next on the list, 3D printing. Somebody was asking me about 3D other than Ash. I forget exactly who it was. But Ash is going herself on a vacation. And she was posting some stuff about 3D printing. I was very close to doing a put sale on this one, but again, there was just no premium, so I'm just going to keep waiting. Well, I should say no premium. It was just right on the verge of good. On earnings, let's just wait on this one. 3D is very volatile over earnings. The only thing I could actually see that wouldn't, maybe, this would be an aggressive trade. This would definitely be for my advanced option traders, be a naked strangle. Sounds terrible. $17 call. So you'd sell a call up here and sell a put down here. So $17 call and a $9 put, but there's no money, even over earnings. I say no money. You're really getting beans for that. So I just would move on. It's not even worth the risk. No trade on 3D printing at all for right now. We will come back to it on Tuesday, though, and see if we can gap down or something like that. Tuesday. Mentorship Monday is Monday. Tuesday, 3D printing. Okay, TLRY. We were keeping a close eye on this one. She did get a little bit of a pop today, which is cool. So what I'm going to look for is to see if we can pull back just a smidge on TLRY. So I want it just at the high of this bearish candle. It's a newer IPO, so I could see how it could get a little, a little wild. It's already gapping up some tomorrow. What's the high of this candle? 23.99. Because if we gap up, it really could run. I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see what that one does. I'm going to put that one on my list for tomorrow, because tomorrow we are day trading all day long together. So you'll get to see me kind of keep an eye on TLRY. Let me drop this one down. Friday morning, TLRY. This would be the stop. 23.59 by 21.39, just to make the math a little bit easier. 1 penny of a difference. Okay, cool. We planned it. It might not fill. I don't know. No clue. But we did get triggered into LB today. Today is the 2nd, 2018 TLRY. New IPO, 23.59 by 21.39. Shares. I think it's a good trade based on a gap and go. It's open because it's not triggered yet. And we'll put that right there. Lemon says, oh boy, be ready to hit the record button tomorrow and Monday. That's right. That's right. So anyway, that's kind of what I got. We'll see if it gaps tomorrow. It's a morning star. I like the candle. I like the shaved top. Maybe it pulls back a little bit just to test the high of yesterday, and if not, I don't mind missing the trade. It's always better to not be in a trade and wish you were in than be in a trade and wish you were not in. All right. SFIX. We've been kind of having this one on the list, watching to see if it was going to do anything interesting, and so far it really hasn't. Let me put this on the top of the list. Sorry, I'm just going to put it like on the top of like this right here. I'm going to move it over to the right side. Right side's going to look a little bit like that. Okay. And I'm still just waiting for this thing to close. So until then, I'm just going to move on. We'll put it on the list, I don't know, sometime next week. See if it's doing anything interesting. Jim said, didn't you also get triggered into LGM? I did. I wonder if these are on the list. No. All right, I'll put them on the list. LG, LB, WDC. We'll go look at those three. All right, here's RHT. Red Hats. Nothing interesting. Kind of a cool pattern. I think it's just hanging out for the most part. We already got one of the rotations. We're trading back down. I could see red hat popping in any direction down here. I really could. So if anyone's playing red hats, I think you can turn the moving averages off because it hasn't really been respecting them, and play this accordingly. So you got a little bit of a triangle pattern on an hourly chart. Boom, boom, something like that. Nice triangle. I would kind of prefer a gap down, really. That would be really fun. That'd trap a lot of people. The trend is still bearish. It is technically still a bearish retest gap, and we did kind of retest. So I would prefer a gap down, which it actually is a little bit tomorrow, according to the post market, very small. So I'm gonna put that on the list too, just in case. But other than that, no swing trade set up presently. SPLK. SPLK. What's this doing? Splunk software technology. Yeah, cool. It bounced. It bounced. I know Matt DeLong is a big fan of this one. He's traded this one ever so often. And it, he was looking at, I think, doing a put sale. It traded down to the 200. I don't know if anyone did a put sale or bought shares or got into calls. If you did, you are a legend. It's all about buying low, selling high, right, Don? Look at that support. Boom. You are a buyer right there. You got to be a pro. You got to practice that buy, though, especially on SPLK. It's a volatile little cookie. But it's a good place, good little bounce. I don't know if Matt sold a put sale there or not, but if he did, congrats. And if not, no big deal. But I don't have any trade on SPLK personally. I do like this little morning star pattern, though, right here. And again, remember, for my day traders, you can even trade, even if you don't want to trade gaps, you can even trade just continuations of daily charts, right? Because if you have this morning star pattern right here, you're like, yeah, it's a nice little morning star pattern. So if it breaks the high of the third candle, you would probably anticipate it to go higher. And then here's the 5-minute chart. And once you zoom into the 5-minute chart, here's the high of yesterday right there. And obviously you got the hammer, what's that called? Dragonfly doji. And then when it broke out, so you had a bunch of white candles, so you're probably thinking, let's buy the retest. Got bought in around here, stop would have been below this candle, and that would have been it. So again, for day trading, you can day trade continuations of daily charts. I mean, it doesn't have to be a mind-boggling, difficult process. If the trend looks good, chart pattern looks good, play it good. Who made money on Tesla today? Woo, doggy. Tesla. Oh, man. Oh, man. This one, mind-boggling to me, that they lost that much money and still were like, yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean, look at this gap. I mean, that was a phenomenal retest gap, too. White candle gapping up as much money as you wanted to make today on Tesla calls. I only did a put sale, so I was already in it for a swing. That's just one of my rules. Unless it's a long term, which I can do it on a long term. But if I'm in like a short term position, or something like, U.S. Steel is a neutral position, right? So I can play it either direction. But Tesla, I already was bullish, and so there's no need to go bullish and then take another trade and lose on that one. So I'm going to be buying back these put sales tomorrow and then selling some more puts on some more stuff. I gave Ash and Niels both some credit for that one because that was one of the easiest put sales I've seen in my entire career. When I sold that one, it was 120 points out of the money for a month away. A month. And you had the long-term moving averages at this support. I mean, that's a huge gap. And the good news is, when I love a gap like this because this is the definition of short float, right? I had tons of traders ask me, hey, Newsome, is Tesla going to go bullish? Has a really big short float? And I was like, yeah, just wait for it to pull back first since it is a retest gap and then buy that dip. So Brad did play this one officially in the room. There was a few traders that made some good money on Tesla today. 5-minute chart was delectable, and I mean, that's just a fantastic pattern. Fantastic. So anyway, at some point, Tesla probably gaps up and continues. I think Tesla runs for a little bit more because people are just baffled that it's still going higher. So I don't know exactly how high Tesla goes, but I do think it continues higher, Jim. Probably eventually trades into the 387 level, and then we'll see if you can roll over or not. I mean, look at that bounce off the 100, so that's beautiful. I think there's some more time for this one to trade sideways, though. I think there's some more time for this one to trade sideways. But if we gap up big tomorrow on Tesla, keyword if. So let's say, hypothetically, Tesla at open is gapping up to, I don't know, here, somewhere. I'm going to fade it if it's gapping up too big. Hey, buddy, what's up, Rick? All right, that's Tesla. Nice trade. I bet Ricky just absolutely smashed that one today. We've already looked at U.S. Steel. FedEx, FDX. And what can FedEx do for you? I don't think that's our logo. I don't think that's our slogan. FedEx trade down to a support. You got the hammer of Thor with a nice little upper shadow. And you got two more hammers back to back on 7.6 and 7.5. So FedEx is right in the middle of the channel. I forget, I think it was Mr. Michael Ramsey who was talking about a straddle last time, which was on this doji. He was talking about straddling it. So if you did straddle it, you made some money with the calls, and then they've come back to normalcy. I'd probably wait on FedEx personally, unless you're longer term bullish. I think it needs a little bit more of a pullback because you have 5 weeks in a row of up. So I think you can pull back one more time, come back to 222, and we could play that a second time. But for all intents and purposes, I think FedEx is kind of right in the middle of this channel, and it's just going to trade sideways for a while. Okay, that's FedEx. Here's Southwest, and we were looking at taking a FedEx trade not too terribly long ago. I said FedEx, I'm sorry. Southwest trade not too terribly long ago. But I wanted an inside day candle. Obviously, this candle is the exact opposite of an inside day. So we have retested. We did pull down to the 200. We do have a really nice hammer candle. I don't think we get an inside day candle tomorrow on Southwest. But if we do, I think we could do something like this. Put it there. I really want an inside day candle on Southwest. That'd be nice. But this is a pullback. This is the pullback. I do like it. Again, it's not in a perfect bullish trend yet. We're still kind of trading sideways. There's a lot of traders in Southwest. I'm happy that it finally pops because it made me look like I know what I was talking about. Because I've been saying Southwest needs to pop since late April, and it took forever, I guess. But there's tons of you in this one. Sandra's in this one. Cheryl's in this one. Linderman's, or not Linderman. Justin Jeffrey's in this one. Robert Falco's in this one. John's in this one. A lot of people longer term Southwest. I get it. I dig it. I'm flying them again in 3-4 weeks. So trend looks good. Pattern looks good. Inside day candle. We'll come back and look at it tomorrow and see if we take a continuation on that flight. Next on the list is Microsoft. MSFT bouncing off the 20. Looking pretty good. Good volume. Looks very nice. So yeah, I'd say if you're in Microsoft, I think Steven Jackson played a bullish move on Microsoft today. It's a good candle close. We should get some continuation higher in the market. We got the pullback. We're into the good, we're in the trends. Things look nice. That's what I got on Microsoft. I mean, if you're in, stay in. I don't really have anything else to say. NVIDIA. NVDA is up 1.6% today, and that is why I needed a close below 241.69 because it was at really good support. It was at really good support. You might remember there was the 100 simple moving average there. So remember, keep in mind, if I'm looking for a direction, for a trend to change, if I'm looking for more evidence or proof that something's going to be a little different, I need to close below those levels. That did not happen. So at the present moment, NVIDIA looks good. I know tons of people that have shares. Let me go ask my buddy David Webb what if he's got a covered call or anything. All right. Let me go ask. 1 second. David. Yes, there we go. David. Hey, buddy. Any updates on NVIDIA? Any covered calls expiring worthless or put sales or anything like that? Anyway, they do pay a small dividend. Things are looking good. I like it. All right. Next on the list, PayPal. PYPL. PayPal. I like it. So if you were talking about this one, it pulled back into the 100. Awesome little spot. So Ben, you got something on this one, right? So I think there's a few people. I think Mr. Michael Ramsey was looking at PayPal. David, I forget a few others. I think Ben said he was getting some positions on PayPal. But you got to like this bearish candle. You have to like that new white soldier off of the 100. The trend is bullish. So if you got in at some point today up 2.4%, and this is what the 15-minute chart looks like, and just a nice little small cruiser. So most things you're probably going to want to pull back on. But that is a really kind of a crisp morning star pattern, something like this. That is nice. So good little, good morning star. Let it break higher. Trade up into, I don't know, 80, something like that. Anyway, it looks good. That's what I got on PayPal. Trend is nice. So again, a lot of these trades, obviously we're going through them and we're just analyzing them and looking at them, not setting anything up. But that's because most of these markets, most of these stocks are moving pretty similarly. They're doing very similar things, and you don't want to be in all of those by any means. Pepsi was a really good trade. I'm happy for JL buying that dip like a pro. So here's Pepsi, and he bought that S-curve into the 20. He waited for a week, let it come a little bit lower, and just simply bought off the 20. Makes sense to me. Trend looks good. You had a black candle last week. So this is kind of like the rest, the flag pattern, the pennant pattern type of a move. And from at least your analysis, it looked like your entry was pretty much right here at that 20 EMA. Right in that retest gap, just filling the gap, buying the dip. Good job, man. I like the candle. If it makes a higher high and a higher low tomorrow, it should work, but just keep sticking to your plan on what you've been doing on Pepsi so far. In and out, make some gains, move on to the next thing. What is XOP doing? Simpson says, are you wearing wooden shoes today? Is it loud? Do I need to turn it down? I'm practically running. So XOP is the S&P Oil and Gas Explorer Fund. So here is the daily chart. Here is the weekly time frame. XOP, Oil and Gas Explorer Fund. Oil and Gas Explorer Fund. I mean, so obviously this is really tied to oil. Nice higher low, really good support resistance right about here. And that's why we're hanging out. Most energies are hanging out, and I still think on the verge of what looks to be a bullish break higher. I think that's what most people are aiming for / planning for. But there's also an equal amount of bears. So I don't think this one is super obvious. In fact, the volume declines. And yeah, I'd kind of have to say, if I was looking at playing this one bullish, I'd just kind of stay in and let it ride. That's what I got on XOP. INSP. This is a brand new one, and this is the one that Dawn is in. And the low of today, 43.59. So I think it did exactly what we talked about yesterday, Dawn, if you remember, on INSP. Isn't that crazy how that happens sometimes? Just right down to it. But now you know. So me and Don were just chatting about this particular stock, and it's this is something that everyone's going to learn a lot from. Everyone will learn a lot from this. But have you ever placed a trade and then placed your stop? You know, you're entering your stop, and then either out loud or mentally said, "Yeah, I think I have my." You know, let's say you have a stop here and an entry here. And you go, yeah, I think the stock could do this. And you're looking at it and you feel like the stock could come down and barely hit your stop before it trains higher. You guys ever felt that way? If you ever take a trade when you set up an entry and a stop and you're pushing your stop, and in your mind or even out loud, you go, yeah, but I think it still has the opportunity to maybe go a little bit lower and just barely miss my stop. I think my stop's in a good place. If you ever say that out loud or even mentally, take that entry, move it down to your stop. Because if you think that, that's probably what's going to happen. So that's what I got on INSP. It bounced off the 50 EMA on the hourly, made a little bit of a higher high and a higher low, up 1.19%. And hopefully that trend continues for Dawn. All right, next on the list, we've already looked at IYT, SNDR. SNDR, Schneider National. This is the daily on Schneider. The daily chart. Schneider's been just slowly cranking it out. Dividend paying stock. Look at this weekly chart. So pretty new, relatively recent, right down to the 50. And yeah, I have zero position in Schneider. But if I did, I'd probably keep holding. So SNDR, looking nice. This is a killer retest gap today. White candle gapping up. So I would let SNDR retest a little bit. Yeah. Yep. I mean, if you're not in, I'd just let it pull back more than buy the dip off the long-term moving averages. Otherwise, pretty much all I got. All right, CSCO. Cisco Systems. Trading, I mean, perfectly sideways. It's in fact in between the 100 and the 200 simple. So the weekly chart still trading sideways. This is one that I think has a strong ability to go higher because it broke out of a big, big range. So Cisco, yes, has been taking pretty much the soft side of forever to continue up. I mean, can you imagine being in this stock in 1994 to 2000? Wowzer town, that thing was a beast. So Cisco really creeping and rocking. Anyway, I like the moving averages. I don't really have any play on Cisco. If you're in bullish, keep holding. If you have put sales or bull put spreads, keep holding. I think all those look good, but I'll just keep waiting. Ticker symbol I. So there's a few people in Intelsat. And had a nice move and breakout today. So I think I think ticker symbol I had a good breakout. Again, this one's been moving really, really strongly. We did break out. I'm pretty sure I had a chart pattern on this one, a chart I posted for people just based on that volume. And I know Lee got into this trade. I forget who else requested this one. I think it was Kyle, but not a super expensive stock. And here is I. You know what's interesting? So I got a question because I noticed this the other day in another chart, and I don't know if it's a coincidence or not. Some setting is adjusted. Does anyone else, let me pull up I on something else, but can you guys pull up I for me as well? Pull up over here on this chart. Weekly. So why is it that on TradingView, this resistance is lower, but on Thinkorswim, it's higher? Does anybody know what setting that is or how that got changed? Because I might email them. Christian said, I have ADJ adjusted. So sorry. Is that it? Let me see if I refresh it, if that helps. I think that might have been what it is. Adjusted for dividends. Intelsat. Let's see if I refresh, if that helps. And if not, I might just kind of go back out. Oh, it still did it again. There we go. Perfect. Thanks, Neil and Ricky. One day, I'm going to be as great as you guys. One day, it'll happen. I'm going to wake up, I'm going to feel like superhero strength and just become smarter, just better looking, and go, what happened? Oh, yeah, I'm like Neil and Ricky now. That's what it is. Getting closer. Getting closer. Anyway, I mean, I don't really know what else to say about this one other than if you're in, great. Keep hanging on. Your targets are right around the corner. Lock in some profits. But that's a really good breakout. And if you're not in and you're looking to get in, expect a nice wick lower that's going to flash you in. Something like a and just really take off. So if you're like, I think it's going to go here and then get in, just drag it a little bit lower. Because if it wicks down, it's going to be pretty dramatic, and then it's going to bounce. Just to make sure everyone's stopped out. All right. That's pretty much it. Blue Apron is real interesting. Have you ever had a stock and you're like, man, I sold too early. What an idiot. And then you come back and go, well, I guess it wasn't that bad. So Blue Apron, I guess really did not like that 50 EMA on a weekly. I guess that was it. Now, again, most traders who traded it, you got trailed out, right? That's why you have to put stops or protective puts or something to lock in profits. If something's moving in your favor, there's no reason just to give it all back, especially when it breaks down all that support. Yeah, so pretty much it's coming down to a support again, and I wonder what the news was today. Blue Apron revenue falls. Because the biggest challenge with Blue Apron, I'm still on board with the whole, we're not going to just let the IPO thing go to zero. I'm still on board with that. But what I will say is everyone I know that I've talked to that uses Blue Apron doesn't really like it that much. They've all said it's okay. And there's a lot of them. There's like Market Fresh, and there's like 7 or 8 others. So, Yeah, they got absolutely wrecked. JL's new name, Red Apron. That's funny. Yeah, guys. I mean, all I can say on this one is I think she's going to go a little lower. So let's keep waiting on Blue Apron just a bit. Because this is some interesting volume that's coming in today. Very interesting. Second highest bearish volume. Man, Blue Apron just can't swerve it. But I will be a contrarian and see if I can pick some up at some point. Let's put on the list for Wednesday, and that's that. All right, next on the list, Hasbro. Limit buy at 0. Classic. So Hasbro, this was a bearish trade actually that I was looking at the other day that we gotten out of because it filled that gap. So pretty much an R, just get in, get out, move on. But my buddy Mark was looking at, I believe, something like this, bullish stop limit by something like this. I don't remember exactly where the other stop was, but can't remember if it was 96 or 99. I guess I could scroll up. But that would be a conservative play. Nice and conservative. And then here's the hourly chart. And yeah, that looks nice. The only other aggressive trade would probably be 97.50. Yeah, that's about it. It's a good trend. Gotta like that hammer. Hey, bro. Come on, bro. Maybe it trades sideways and goes higher, but that's kind of how I would look at it, and then I'd move the stop up a little bit more. I'm not going to trade Hasbro right now, though. But I still am happy about this little trade we took not too long ago. Still happy about that. Okay. Oh, man. Type in a 7. If you're making money on Apple. Yes. Talk about 2018 coming back to me, baby. I want to see everyone type in 7s. It's hard for me to say that I don't think I've been hiding at all what Apple was going to do if it got. This was it. Shout outs to Iberto, who got 30 R's on Apple today and sold it. I know a lot of you have Apple in your long-term retirement account, which if that's the case, beautiful. Even if it's not short-term for you, that's okay. But as I've said a few times before, like them or love them, hate them or you're despised by them, they do one thing really well, and that is make a lot of money. And Warren Buffett is making a lot of money. I mean, it's Chief says the first time I've heard you say I'm bullish on Apple. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say really, other than that was that. So this pattern, it still almost picked the top for today, which is amazing. Now let's go see if anybody won 207.39. 207 Apple. I know there's more than this. How do I search the whole thing? 207. There's got to be more than this. I don't know why it does that. It's like you can search the whole thing. You know you're there. All right. Where do I go? Use the search below that box. Oh, right here? Okay. Just press clear. So if I do search, if I type in Apple, I'm sure it'll pull up. Navigate, select, press enter. Filter by people. All right, let's see. Here we go. This will work. 207.39. Who got the closest? Iberto, look at this. Look at that, 30 R's. 207.67. Tony got real close. Alex got close to 207.01. Page 1 of 8. Let's see a little bit more then. 205. 207.78. Newsom, that's pretty close. Nice. I don't think we had any exact winners today, but we had a lot of people that got really close. All right, cool. Well, we'll do it every Thursday. Anyone who wins gets a nice little prize. Jesse, what did Jesse do? Jesse, what was his vote? Let me just type in Levan. This is the fastest way I can search it. What? He got 68. Oh. That is pretty close. He's just doing the prices right thing. That doesn't count. He's just going a little bit below me. Cool. Well, I think Jesse's the closest then. I think you are the closest on Apple. One for good trader point for you. Cool. And if anyone else is closer, I mean, I'll give them some too. I'm gratuitous with points. Anyway, that's Apple. Congrats. Definitely hitting some targets today. I hope you're all making good money on Apple. I mean, even if you're in 6 shares, it's irrelevant. Doesn't matter how many shares you got. You got to have. It's the most profitable company in the world. Now, the big question is, when do I stop becoming so bullish on Apple? That is a great question. When? It's gonna have to be a while. It's gonna be a while. Let's just keep holding for now then. All right, next on the list, Facebook. Ticker symbol FB. And Facebook today, a lot of people are looking at getting in Facebook long term down here. I can't really argue with that. My only thought was I thought it was going to go a little bit lower. You know, like down here. So I did have some orders down here. I did tiptoe at 170, like $1,000 worth. So nothing crazy. But if it pulls back again tomorrow, here's the best way to probably play Facebook. And I know that this is difficult. This gap is so weird, so strange, fresh, and new for traders on investors who are playing Facebook. It's going to do some weird things for a while. This is one of those that if I were playing Facebook, which Ashley and I are, I would just buy some shares or buy some longer term calls where I don't have a really big position in and just kind of hold it for a while. Just kind of get in at a what you think might be a good price and just be in for a bit and let it kind of ride. Because it really could do this and this and this. I really truly don't know exactly what Facebook does other than go higher. That I'm very confident in. Just all I can say on Facebook, write it down, know your plan. Make sure whatever money you're risking, let's say you're putting $400,000 in or something, if you're like, all right, I'm gonna risk this amount. This is comfortable for me, and if I'm down 40,000, whatever, I'll lose 10R. Whatever your number is, just kind of go in there with your plan. Trust us, unless there's news, and there could be. I mean, the news could cause it to go down more. But here's my rant on Facebook really quick. Their earnings were dirty. I mean, real good. They made almost as much money as Apple. I mean, $18 billion in revenue. That's nothing to sneeze at. That is no sneezing matter. The reason Facebook went down is because they said they were going to stop growing as fast as they have been. And that affects all tech stocks at some point. That earnings, when they go, yeah, guys, we're doing really well. Thanks so much for the love, but we're not going to be able to grow 40% a quarter anymore. It's going to be more like 20% or 10% a quarter. Which, as a business owner, if you're growing 10% a quarter, killer. Lisa's young generation said Facebook is for old people. They are correct. But there's a lot of old people, Lee. There's a lot of them. And not only that, but we got to remember Facebook owns Instagram, which is all the young people. And all the young people are using Instagram over Snapchat. And if you're outside of America, let me guys give you a breakdown really quick. If you're outside of America, you probably use an app called WhatsApp, unless you're in China. And WhatsApp, let me tell you how these guys are going to start advertising to you. You ready for this? WhatsApp is going to start texting you, not like tomorrow, but at some point. They're going to start texting you and going, hey, so we noticed your buddy Fernando or Jeremy or Ricky just bought XYZ product, and he said you'd really like it. Here's a code to use, and you can get 10% off too. And they're going to be doing text message services when it comes to advertisements. A lot of people are like, oh, they can't advertise on. Oh, dude, trust me. Trust me, it's around the corner. They're going to start, just messaging you, and that's going to be such an influential marketing tool. I mean, if I know Ricky buys something, I'm going to be buying it. And then from there, think about Facebook and how many and the platform that it's going to do with video and video games and interaction. I mean, when you have this is a scary thought, but Facebook has more people than Apple. Apple has still a very small, I say small, I mean, you're talking hundreds of billions, hundreds of millions, if not billions, one or two. And then the just absolute insane fans, you have hundreds of millions. But Facebook has so many people. Matt says, text through WhatsApp or the cell phone? Through WhatsApp. Yeah, but it'll message you through the WhatsApp service. So anyway, I mean, I get it. I know that I know they do a lot of ads, but I mean, it's the way to reach a lot of people right now. I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to see. They're still making 18. They make it 18 million a quarter. Cheryl says it's annoying. I agree. It's not super enlightening. I will throw it out there that I don't really spend that much time on Facebook. I'm a young person, but here's what's crazy. It's too easy to hate on. It's too easy to hate on. And everyone, very, very few people are bullish on Facebook, which tells me the market's going to make it go higher. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I don't know. I think it's a buy down here. That's my opinion. The reason they gapped on earnings, their earnings were on fire. Fire. And they just said, hey, we can't grow as fast as we used to, so they gapped out. Speaking of Netflix, the only thing you got to watch out for Netflix on is a close below here. Until this happens, just keep being more or less bullish to neutral, I guess, on Netflix. The close below there, woo-wee. Brutal. Cheryl says, I get literature from at least 10 gurus per day. I know. I'm with you. I'm on that campaign as well. I probably get 100. I get so many. So many. I go through them all. I read all their stuff. And it's always the same. Good old Jason Bond. I haven't met Jason Bond yet in person, so I can't say anything about him, about his person. I can say tons about his company. So Netflix, I mean, as long as we don't close below there, it should be all right. And again, I'm not saying all right as in like Netflix going to zero. I'm just saying like if it closes and really rotates down, I think 300's easy, 285, 65, something like that. Don't have any positions on Netflix right now. I did watch. We Ashley and I did watch a movie last night called "This Is How It Ends." It's a Netflix special. And the the ironic part about all that is the ending was like, wow, what's going on? Is that it? Is there anything at the end of the credits? I'm confused. Left us hanging a little bit. It's like, this is how it ends. Not really. This is how it ends. Okay. A little bit of a spoiler alert. I agree. I mean, it's sorry. It's great. Trust me, you're not going to know it's the end. Don't worry. So go and watch the movie. You won't know it's the end until it happens. And then you're going to be like, I see what Jeremy's saying. And then I watched Extinction. So I try to watch a movie with Ashley every night. We try to carve out that time. I love movies. I love books. I'm a movie guy. I do like to just watch movies and relax. You know, an hour and a half a day. I usually do some back training during that. That is correct, Anthony. But don't tell her. She doesn't know. No, she does. I'm just kidding. She knows. Anyway, that's what I got. Netflix. Baba's hanging out. This was a very interesting candle on Baba, I feel like. I told a few people that it looks like if it were going to go bearish, this is where, but it still did not close below 181.19. I think Baba can make it down to the 50 EMA on a weekly before it does anything. So if you want, I would wait for that just to kind of bounce off of there or get very, very close to it. But this should be the bottom on Baba. And the good news is if it's not, I think you have a really easy play down to 164. So this should be it on Baba. And if not, like I said, if it closes, or really, yeah, if it closes below here, it's going to be a little bit of a wait and see. A puke order, I wouldn't really call that a puke order. Honestly, at the 50 EMA, Frank, I mean, I see what you're saying. I'm just thinking that that's totally doable. You know, normally a puke order is like, let's say you put it at 160. You know, that would be a puke order. But unless you're saying at $50, and then yeah, that's the definition of a puke order for sure. Baba at 50. That would not be good. Lee's in a bull put spread. Camilo and George got some put sales. Let's let it chop around trade sideways. No setup on that one. Canadian Solar looks good. I know my girl Dawn's in Canadian Solar. Earnings is just days away, so I'm not going to play this one. But I just like this little rotational move. I like this like I don't know what you would call this, like a cup and handle, some type of rotation. But you got like this double bottom right here, close the neckline, retest the neckline, one white soldier. You know, so just like a soft move. So if you're more of an aggressive trader, hourly chart type of person, 15-minute, you can look to buy a dip on Canadian Solar Dawn. Maybe you could play this one as well. So we'll see 1367 by 1325. We shall see. That's pretty much what I got on Canadian Solar. Should go up a little bit higher. Good old Googs. The Googsters. So Googsters is getting close to what I want. So this is going to kind of like a morning star. The challenge between Google and Twitter's is probably going to do the same thing, something like that. So I'll come back to that. We'll look at it tomorrow. I probably won't play both Google and Twitter and some of the other techs because they're almost identical. Now, iRobot, on the other hand, is looking toasty. And we are going to set this one up. So we're going to set up some iRobot right now. And I'll publish this one. I haven't published an actual setup in a while. for the folks on TradingView. Here's the weekly. Yeah, looks good. iRobot, bullish swing. Nice bullish gap and go. Decent gap fill. Nice candle today. Nice trend. I like their products long term as well. So this might be one I just try to do to see if I can get some of that Roomba money back. iRobot. And that's pretty much it. Cheryl said, I had someone tell me you can't be an effective trader without using level 2. I mean, I'd have to disagree with that because I don't use level 2 at all. You can, I mean, level 2 is like anything else. It helps. It works sometimes, just not all the time. I mean, because you still have, I mean, you still can have buyers and sellers, and you can still see when people are buying and selling. That I do agree with, but just because there's a lot of buyers, that means it's going to go up. Nope. Sure, says level 2. Yep, like price action. Like you see the bid and the ask that are going through. Or you can look at the pretty much the price ladder to see all the transactions that everyone's placing simultaneously and instantly. If you can read it, it's awesome. It just hurts my eyes. Just sit there and stare at it. They always do show it though when someone's like, "Oh, they took they took this pill," and they're geniuses now. They always show them like doing level 2 and like reading it, looking at it. I wonder if I think TradingView has level 2. Cheryl says, but they can manipulate that as well. Well, exactly. That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you know what iceberg orders are, right, Cheryl? So you can do iceberg orders where you just show a little bit, but you have a lot. You can do, you can hide your orders. You can, I forget the exact name, but you can also do orders that look massive, but they're really not. I forget what the actual name for that is. But yeah, you can manipulate level 2 as well. Hidden orders, thank you. Yeah, so, all right, you're gonna make me rant, that's fine. I'm not gonna mention any names. I actually like this person's vigor and vim a lot. I like this person's energy and just the way this person approaches, being on stage and talking about the markets and how devoted this person is. Like, I love that. That's missing in the markets for sure. But when it comes to this, the cool new thing about dark pools and what dark pools use and how they work, dark pools are literally just European orders that can be placed from the U.S. or from other countries, usually before market open, right? And then they don't actually get posted till 24 hours after they're made. So no one knows them. No one knows that they've been posted until 24 hours. So they put it under another exchange on another market, and it's a dark pool order. And a lot of people are like, all right, dark pools, they can show you where the market's going. Because all these buying or sellings are happening. And so I subscribe to a dark pool service, and I hope it doesn't surprise you, but I got 1,000 alerts a day, 1,000, talking about, hey, this is a really, really big print. This is a dark pool print on this particular stock. Look for it to go long here or go short here. And that's 1,000 a day, not a year, a day. So if you're going to have that much volume on a dark pool, like if there's one a week, I'm in. One a week, sure. I mean, you have a huge order. So this particular person, for example, come over here on Facebook, and the message was Facebook, huge print, like around here or something. Facebook had massive, like $1 billion worth of stocks being sold or shorted. And they're like, all right, above this price, be bullish, and below this price, be bearish. And it went higher. And then it gapped down. That person's like, all right, see, I told you, you had 40,000 shares of Facebook being sold. It was $1 billion worth, and we knew that because it was a dark pool print, and it gapped down because, you know, there was insider trading and all that stuff. It's like, you know, yeah, yes, but you didn't get in bearish before earnings, so you were in bullish actually. You know, so anyway, all I'm getting at is there are so many ways, and I definitely subscribe to, if someone's going to come up to me and say, hey man, I use only level 2, I don't even look at the price charts, you can make money that way. Tom Sosnoff from Tasty Trades, you guys all know who he is. He doesn't really look at charts at all. He's not that great at looking at charts. He's a mathematical options trader. So he looks for implied volatility. He pulls up a bunch of scanners on options, and he looks for displacements on options that, like Tesla, he made tons of money off of Tesla on this gap because there was so much premium down there, you know? And anyway, Sharon says, are we going long today? Yeah, we're going a little long. So it kind of comes back to my thing is I can appreciate anyone's like direction, even penny stocks. I mean, hey, people who play penny stocks, they can work. It's just if they're really good at marketing and they have a lot of people behind them, I already know how they make money. So it's not really that surprising to me. They just front load and they send out a tweet and there you go. It's not that difficult to figure out. However, if you use anything to some degree, it can work. Everything works, just not all the time. That's my little rant about dark pools specifically. Roy, UXIN. I'll put down the list. I think it's on the list for today. I thought it was on the list for today. All right, I'll look at one more. UXIN. HubSpot. I'm looking at a put sale on HubSpot, 105 for September, once I buy back my Tesla. So I'm probably going to do this tomorrow. Falco's already done this one. He got $1.50. I really wouldn't mind owning HubSpot. I won't do that many contracts. It's a little expensive, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to be keeping an eye on HubSpot, maybe to go down 2 or 3 more days. We'll see. I'm just going to be watching it pretty closely, but I'll be looking at buying a dip on HubSpot or at least doing a put sale. So just kind of know that's on my radar. Same thing with Shopify. Shopify also gorgeous candle today. Very pretty. Oh man, this is such a nice pattern, these 3 candles. I could talk about an hour just about the sentiment of these 3 candles. It's bullish is what I'm getting at. And buy a dip, plan on going bullish longer term, put sales, whatever you're looking at going. It looks good to me. And here's a 15-minute chart. You can kind of see like that double bottom, little channel kind of approach. So yeah, I'm also looking at doing a put sale. I know tons of you do put sales on Shopify, and a 105 put sale on Shopify is also a possibility. We're going to be keeping our eyes on that one, but I know a lot of you are in Shopify. I'm not personally right now. But I know Matt's got some put sales, Camilo, a few others. I like that pattern a lot. Okay, and here's the ones that we're in right now. Swing trades, log me in. We're in on it. LOGM got triggered in. So that's exciting. We'll see if that gap fills. And then L brands, ticker symbol LB. We got filled on L brands today, and it had a little bit of a 2.4% pop. I don't know why trading is going a little bit slower. So we'll see if that can break through. Won't be in these trades a massive amount of time. And then WDC for most of the day was looking pretty good. I came seconds away from emailing everybody, and I still might. I don't love how this option is moving. I really don't. I mean, we made a significant lower low, and the option barely flinched. Barely. So I mean, it's in the money, unless I'm mistaken. It's $1. It's $1.50 in the money. Yeah. So we're only. I mean, there ain't that much on this one. So I'm gonna be watching this one really close tomorrow. I might let it retest. If it gaps down or continues to run, I'll probably just get out. I don't like the way the options are moving. I would want to be much more up right now than I am. Anyway, I still like the trend. And then last but not least, UXIN. This is the IPO, and Roy says, how long bullish? How long bullish? What do we got? Well, so we were talking about that just the other day. So Roy, if you're playing this one, I mean, this is a brand new IPO, so you're going to have to play this kind of aggressively. Honestly, I would just plan on taking your profits kind of quickly on this one. So I would do a quarter here on UXIN. I would do the rest up here if you hit it. I'll put this in the chat pane. And I would go ahead and move the stop because there's no need for it to break below the candle that was made today. So you can put it kind of like right here. And then some point, 2-3 days from now, move up that stop another penny or two. Because new IPOs, they're frugal. You gotta get in, gotta get out, kind of pop around, boom, 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 make your money, move on. If it's like a little bit of a smaller pattern. So that's what I'm thinking, Roy. I'll put that in the chat pane, and that's kind of what I got. Cool. That's it. I went a little bit long. I usually do on Thursdays because there's just so much to cover and talk about. Tomorrow is Finance Friday. Here's the stocks that I have for tomorrow. JP Morgan, Citigroup, Raytheon, DHI, QD, MMM, all-time high, Molina, First Solar, Twitter, WDC again, CI, Southwest, Google, HK. Let's look at HK tomorrow. I bought some more today, by the way. I'm starting to move my stop up a little bit on that one so that I don't lose 2 R's. I didn't think I was going to, but I was prepared. Cool. That's what we got for tomorrow. And until then, love life. Live life and trade it. Bye.